whole thing, man. Back and forth and forth. Back and forth and forth. Back and forth and forth. Back and forth. Come on in, man. Come on in. Y'all know we ain't here clowning. We waiting on you guys. We about to go ahead and get this show started. What's up? What's up? Give us a shout out. Let us know y'all here. Let us know y'all here. You know what I'm saying? And show us.
Hey, Nick.
Lust. Let us speak truth is in us. Wiki.
Speak your truth,
right? Did you like our beatbox?
Got me logged in and shit every day. It's like your boss, huh? Motherfucker got me logging in every day.
We're gonna be getting started, y'all, in just a second. Just waiting on y'all to tap in and making, sure that everybody gets in and see the beginning of the show, man, because you're gonna miss a lot of shit. 3, 5.
It's been going down out here.
8, 9, 7. Look at all that. Yeah, it's on you, dog. It's on you.
Oh, it's on me? Oh, y'all know I'm working, y'all. What you doing? What you doing? Somebody tell me something. All right, now put some shit in the comments, man. Talk to me now. Put some shit in the comments. Talk to me. How y'all feeling out there? How was y'all weekend? Talk to me.
And we appreciate you guys that have been tapping in and watching the show. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our numbers is going up. And all because of you guys, you know what I mean? And continue sharing, share it, pass the word, spread the word, pass the word, spread the word.
Spread the word and pass the word.
Hey, have you noticed though, I don't know y'all, is it me or I think since COVID, everybody's language has been kind of English. See, I can't even get it right. Everybody's English has been kind of weird lately.
Y'all shit grammatically incorrect.
But it's not. But even the well educated. Even higher educated. They shit just be kind of entangled with words and shit from time to time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Who else we got here? Marlon's in the house.
Marlon,
what's up?
What's the deal?
Y'all ready to get this show started? I was about to get up. Let me hear a woo woo.
Let me hear a woo. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let that motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn.
All that damn noise. Y'all wasn't expecting all this noise, were y'all? All right, we gonna calm it down. We about to get into it. Give us a minute, one more minute. Trying to get the fans off me. That's what water shit. Oh, shoot.
Marlon got
it. We got Marshall in the house today.
Marshall, don't say no crazy shit.
I was ignorant long before.
Absolutely, Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall, man. Hey, dude. You know where the studio is too, man. Don't you? Hit us, man. Come on through. You get tripping. I know I have to contain you sometimes. I gotta kind of make you take it down a couple of notches or whatever. Matter of fact, Marlon, you go to these comedy shows, man. Holler at us.
Yeah, Marshall.
Let us know. We support that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, time for that intro or what?
You ready?
You ready?
Tired of my bullshit background music?
What the hell that is? I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, play what they give me.
Hey man, y'all got to give us more free music than this now. Come on now.
We about to get into it. We're about to get our own shit pretty soon. You know,
Lights
get our own.
Gonna be playing some real shit. Matter of fact, our independent artists, why don't y'all start sending us some damn music so we can have some real music to play on in the beginning?
Right.
Send us some music.
You know what I'm saying?
Have some artists send us some music.
Okay. All right, man.
You ready? Is you ready, man?
Y'all ready?
Is y'all ready?
Let's get this party started.
Is you ready, man?
Let's get this party started.
Let's get this party started right now.
All our illusions will disappear, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace. I love y'all.
The reasons that we're here.
Check. 1, 2. What's up, y'all? What's up? Happy Thursday. It's your boy Fuel.
That boy in the building, you already know what type of time we on.
And y'all checking out Reasons, you know, where y'all come to tell us why you think what you feel about what we're talking about
Something like that.
today.
Something like that.
So you go and tell us how you feel about what you're talking about today, right? Man, how was the weekend, bro?
Weekend was beautiful. Ladies just purchased a home, so well, we didn't start dealing with the home until this week, actually. But the weekend was cool. Fish fry, hung out with my daughter, and then my family. And then Sunday, my mama had me kidnap me at church from 12 p.m. to 11 o'clock. I mean, from 12 noon to 11 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, man, you're supposed to hit me up, dog.
I know, man.
Hey, this communication.
It's my mom's kept us locked up.
Carolyn's in the house. What's up, Carolyn? Nick said she liked the intro. Thank you, Nick.
I appreciate that.
We loving that intro now.
I like it too.
You know, my boy Nigel did a good job.
He did his thing.
In case y'all don't know, Nigel does our editing.
Hey, Carolyn.
Stuff, you know? Carolyn's in the house. What you say there, Marshall? Marshall said, where there be some girls there, especially those two that run that other show on Tuesdays. Hell to the now. Hell to the now. No. Man, no, Marshall. I mean, dude.
Just pull up, man.
I try to get you to pull up for you, man, for your talent and whatever skills that you have. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about. You up here wanting some honeys and shit. And knowing daggone well.
You ain't gonna even say nothing. You ain't gonna even say nothing. Marshall, you're not gonna say anything, especially to them.
Right,
you're gonna be scared.
Exactly.
You're gonna be nervous.
All right, so let's run down.
We're gonna jump into it first.
Well, the list rather. Well, first, you know what I'm saying. So you guys to know what we're talking about today. We're gonna be talking about styles of communication in a relationship. Styles of communication in a relationships. Then we're talking about when is it a time to leave and stay in a relationship, and what is a financial plan? How important is it to help create wealth? All right, so we got a nice little line up for y'all today or whatever. So stay with us. You know what I'm saying? Put in your comments. You know, I'm looking over here. See, I think I got that from you.
Yeah, look.
See, start looking over at other shit and whatever. I'm trying to talk to the people.
She said you. Nick said you echoing.
I have an echo. Okay, let me fix it. And I'm looking at the quality too on our video too. Let me see the echo here. Go ahead.
Yeah. Bow. But yeah, we excited. We got a great show for y'all. Definitely want to dig into these relationships. And then we're going to talk about
what is a financial plan and how important it is to creating wealth, right, for yourself. So I definitely want to talk about that. I feel like we talk about a lot of relationships, but we don't really never really get y'all a game about this finances and on this level that we on right now. So I kind of want to tap in with y'all and talk to y'all about that. Some of the things I learned about a financial plan, and then what else we got over there?
Our dear brothers and sisters.
Dear brothers, dear sisters. You know that's my favorite.
All right, but let us know. You know, y'all. I get kind of like sketchy when it comes to the sound and stuff like that. So let us know if it's sounding all right now.
Are we gonna talk about the Tiffany Haddish, her making that payment?
Oh man, yeah.
Talk about that real quick.
Yeah. So the update, you guys, on Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears that did the Predator. What is it? What do you call them? Not predators. Molesters, like child molesters. Help me out, y'all.
What?
The video that they did,
yeah. Pedophile.
That's what I'm trying. That's the word I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. I can't get to that. Anyway.
Pedophile
shit.
Pedophile
shit. Yeah. So
but we got some new news, right? We got some news about it. So
we're
gonna jump right into it.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. She just basically, and then we're gonna see what you guys feel about it. She did do a settle. They settled. The settlement is what you're talking about, right? Yeah. So she did settle out of court. There's no from
is the amount undisclosed?
It's amount undisclosed.
Some millions.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It had to be a big, and it's supposed to be, everything's supposed to be, close records and everything. From what we've learned or whatever, I believe the reason all this came out or whatever because of the mom had they found out that basically she didn't give the consent for them to take the kid into this other room and then, did this whole thing, but this is a long time. This is probably like 7 years ago, maybe or longer. You know what I mean? And my whole thing is, for one, it's definitely was a shakedown. I think.
Oh, for sure. Remember we
talked about
this
my opinion. Time. And if you guys learn any more about the news and everything, let us know what you think or whatever, just in case I missed anything or whatever. But I think it was a shakedown.
Absolutely.
Ari Spears ain't gonna have the money.
He don't have it.
I don't know. He might. Ari Spears made some money. I don't know.
I mean, he done made some money, but he ain't got enough to pay out them M's they was probably asking for. Like I said, I told y'all earlier, I didn't really want to say it because it was pedophilia. And they did some real wild shit for the most part. But I had already felt that it was really a money grab, right?
Right.
I think that extortion became an issue, right? They had already been paying these people off. And Tiffany Haddish said, you know what, I'm tired of paying y'all, and we either going to take it to court and pay you one final payment.
Oh, you think they was actually paying?
I think she was extorting. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I think they were extorting because I think this is her friend.
Uh-huh.
And like I told y'all in the beginning, it was never about, and this is, I kind of want to talk about this real quick. This is where our country is going, man. It's not about the pedophilia, which is screwed up.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's getting paid off the act of pedophilia.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is really sick, man. It's basically still using your child's innocence in a way to get some money.
Gain. To
get a gain out of the money. And then again, this pedophilia and this way of thinking goes unchecked.
Uh-huh.
You feel me? Because still nothing is done about the fact that they did some real distasteful things when it comes to children.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that is going to be overshadowed now that the money has been given out because it never was originally about it. And I think that's why our country is where we are now, because we so focused on the money that when something really tragic like this happens, or it looks as bad as it did, nothing really happens because they end up getting paid off.
Yeah. I think the only good thing out of that, because for one, it was distasteful. There was a lot of controversy behind it and all that kind of stuff, and it could have built into something worse and bigger.
It could have.
You know what I mean? But I think the good thing, I know I always try to look for the silver lining, is that once this is done, especially if she was being extorted, you know what I'm saying? Once it's done and over, it's done and over.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like now, you know, she can't, the girl can't come back and kind of, you know, threaten to do this and threaten to do that or whatever. And now that it's out. Although the thing was, is if your PR should have been smart and got ahead of
yeah,
it.
but the
You know
damage
what I'm
is done
Before-
though,
yeah,
career wise, right?
Well, I'm
she's
just
been
saying-
fired from all of her shows.
Who? Tiffany?
Tiffany. She's been fired from
Really?
all her shows. She had to pay out a bunch of money. I seen it on TMZ.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, the damage is done, and like
What
I
happened to
said,
Aries?
I mean, he don't got no damn money, and it wasn't never really about him.
He wasn't.
He wasn't
he's
the
not
big enough act.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It was
Right.
always about Tiffany Haddish, and that's why I know it was extortion from the beginning, right? Because it was her friend, and it was her friend's child.
Yeah,
You get me?
yeah.
And so it really it only has something to do with Aries Spears because she allowed herself to be connected with Aries Spears. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
But the biggest name was Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
So she was gonna take the hit on this one anyway because he didn't have the money that they was asking for. And when you got lawyers, you could tie that shit up in court. You will never get that money.
Right. That's true. That is true.
But
You know
Tiffany
what I mean?
Haddish having a name and having a PR person, right, and it's detrimental to her career. It's better that she settles now. Let the situation blow over. Let the smoke clear, and then she can go on with her life.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? But if she keeps this going, more people just don't want to touch it because pedophilia, especially in Hollywood, because they really get down like that, they don't really want y'all to know about. They don't really want to accept the pedophilia out in the open, so they gotta really get and crucify you because they don't want y'all to know about the director's couch and the weird shit that they be doing in Hollywood.
It's not even only that; it's also in the whole religion aspect too, and these Catholic churches and stuff like that are being sued and banned, lawsuits against whatever. A lot of these priests and all, it's our world is so fucked up.
Yeah, I never got that. That whole situation is ignorant. It's like, first of all, and this is nothing going against the church, but you make a man or a woman vow to never get married or have sex, and then you put them around a bunch of little kids. It's the sickest thing I ever thought of in my life.
Right.
When you think about it, right? You got this man who is mainly a certain age in his sexual prowess, right? At his sexual peak, and you take away sex from him, you take away women from him, and then you have him around a bunch of children.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's sick. That's destined to fail right there.
Exactly.
That's destined to fail. And so I never really got the Catholic Church and how I understand how it's allowed because
well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
It's manipulation. I mean, they manipulate these people's minds.
Absolutely that part of it. But how they're allowed to do it for so many years? Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's been like 50, 60 years that some shit just keep coming out about the Catholic Church. At what point are we going to start to allow these priests to have wives?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's been 100 years that they've been touching kids. This is something we've been knowing. At what point do we either remove the altar boy away from the priest, and they only deal directly with the nuns, or do we allow the priest to have a wife so he can stop doing weird stuff with the kids? And how many centuries or how many decades do we continue to allow this behavior and kind of let it go unchecked?
Yeah, and I just can't. My whole thing is the negativity, the things that you put on the churches and the religion, and you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that or whatever, and it makes it hard for those that are doing the good job or that are really helping people, whatever, to trust.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? In that. And I'm kind of like one of those people. I don't trust a lot. I don't trust church. I don't trust. Seriously. I trust my faith. I trust how I feel about someone and what's going on in my life and what I can witness to you, what happened or whatever. That's what I trust. Period. You know what I mean? And I know there's a higher calling. That's what I speak to. That's what I talk to. You know what I mean? So the stuff that's been going on now in these churches, there was a TikTok. And if you guys can pull up, know that I'm sure y'all seen it. Y'all seen it. This pastor, where he probably got like about 5 people in his church now, the congregation, but he sucks to me. You know what I'm saying? And a lady was videotaping him in the church. And he was like, just talking about it, and then you constantly saying, amen, that's Lord. Just, you know what I'm saying? To sway those other people that basically are already minded into, that situation to the point where, or in the whole church scene, you know what I mean? And they agreeing to something that they don't know what they're agreeing to, So you're amen, this and this and that or whatever, and you're trying to make this lady leave out of the church, and you grab her by her head and pushes her out the church. Yeah, you ain't seen that. It's on TikTok. I can't think of the guy's name. If you guys know it and see, let me see if anybody on there. Fat boy screaming in the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, we'll back it up.
Am I loud? Am I loud?
I believe it was mindset from the beginning. Those people are sick from the get-go. How can you go against what God's word said? Right. Exactly. That part, Carolyn. You know what I mean? But yeah, and that's like one of the problems that we have or whatever is that, these people, they use the religion, they use these things or whatever to have certain power over people, manipulation as to manipulating them into thinking of how they want them to think just by using the name Lord and Christ and all this type of stuff, whatever, reading a passage in the Bible as opposed to, and interpreting it in the way that you want it personally for your life and others to follow by. That right there, dude, is a problem with me. And we don't, and I don't get too much, and we don't, even on this show, we don't do too much into religion or whatever. But sometimes when you just see things that are wrong, we are going to communicate and let y'all know that shit is wrong.
Yeah, that shit wrong.
Period. You know what I mean? So this I wish I could think of this guy's name. Nick said on TikTok. Yeah, she said she's seen that on TikTok. Yeah. Nick, do you know the guy's name? I forgot the pastor's name. I think it was something Williams. I wanted to look it up on here, but I can't find it on here.
Carolyn says,
go ahead.
Carolyn says, the Bible says that every man finds a wife, and once he finds a wife, finds a good thing. So how can you be persuaded not to have a wife and be a Christian? Well, in Christianity, it's not necessarily more in Christianity. It's more in Catholicism and the Catholic Church. And I think, I don't want to go here, but I think right? that a lot of stuff going on in the Catholic Church is kind of demonic, y'all. And if y'all don't know anything about the church and how it goes, and that the archdiocese that all churches follow actually come from the Vatican. And so mostly all churches follow a certain kind of code, but Catholicism and Catholic Church practice shit a little bit different over there.
Yeah. And
so that's something that they do in Catholic churches primarily, and they vow not to have, I think it's a oath of celibacy. They vow not to have a wife, and then the nuns vow not to get married. But that's only in Catholicism. And so, but you're absolutely right. I think that basically you asking for a certain level of wild shit to go on, right? If you're allowing these men who are at a certain point in their life to not have a wife, which is a good thing, right? And to be around little girls and little boys, and you know what I'm saying? I think it's very weird. Yeah, it's very weird. It's very, very disturbing, and some things need to be done about it.
It's more so disturbing.
Something needs to be done about it. But absolutely,
for it to be going on still. That's the thing. That's my whole thing. It's kind of like, but when does it stop?
It's always going. It's always going to happen because of what they're the way they set it up. It's almost like cracking a door to a prison cell and thinking that the motherfucking prisoner ain't gonna escape. It's like, it's stupid. It's almost like they setting themselves up. Unless you just did it just primarily for the faith. But like you said, a lot of these people are entering into these cloths and things because of the power that the cloth hold. So you also have to understand that when you putting these people into place as well, right? But as long as a man can't have a wife and a woman can't have a husband and be able to release that sexual tension, and then you're putting them around young people who are budding, and you know what I'm saying, and going through puberty, and I can use my control over them, man. That shit is like, it's like taking candy from a baby. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? It's like first they got to stop the indoctrination that they're doing when it comes to the Catholic priests and nuns. That's the first thing. I think it's going to continue as long as the priests can't have wives.
Yeah.
Because that sexual tension, I don't care what anybody says, and no matter, unless you're a Buddhist and you're a Tibetan monk, sexual tension is going to arrive in you and arise in you. And if you can't release that sexual attention, you're going to be looking at anything and anybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially a person who has the power, right, to control people. And kids being so easy to manipulate and control by authoritative figures. It's kind of like it sets itself up for failure, and it's very sick. And I always wonder why they did that. Right.
What you say, Nick? I don't know his name, but same pastor who got robbed. Yeah. Actually, he got robbed as well.
Oh, yeah, he should have got robbed.
But and then I think that the thing was too is he perpetrates to have a huger congregation than what he had. And I think it was kind of like maybe 15, 20 people, and he, I guess, talks crap or whatever. Like he had a whole lot of people and made the camera look like it was a lot of people or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But it's just, I don't want to get too deep into that, but it's just crazy stuff, man, that it goes on though in the church to, my aunt and my uncle owns a church, you know what I mean? And I see them mainly just helping people, you know what I'm saying? The back to school stuff, whatever, helping them, when it's Thanksgiving, feeding people, doing all kind of stuff or whatever that's supposed to be. Yeah. And that's basically, and I'd say they more so old school, you know what I mean? They don't care about how big or how many people they got in the congregation or whatever. It's kind of like, okay, the people that they'll come, wherever God has put in place for him and for them to do, and they doing their job, and they've been doing it for some years, almost 15, 20 years, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I get from this, and that's the only type of people that I have to really know them in order to try to listen to certain things that they're saying when it comes to religion, So,
last comment was, Carolyn said it's not biblical in any aspect, no matter what they were taught or what type of denomination it is, not biblical. Right, Fat Boy, it's a cult and nothing more. Nothing. I agree.
That part.
I absolutely agree. Exactly. They got a bunch of weird shit going on in there.
Yeah.
A bunch of weird shit. Anytime you tell a grown ass man he can't have a wife, something weird going on.
Exactly.
I'm just being honest. I'm being honest, y'all.
Right.
A cult for sure.
Right.
And shout out to my people who go to Catholic church and go to Sunday Mass. No disrespect to you. Stay away from the priest.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, for real.
And that's the thing, man. Learn for yourself. Learn for and don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in it. All right, man. So
where we going?
Styles. Styles of communication. And you know what? And this is the thing is we do kind of talk about communicating a lot.
That's important.
You know what I'm saying? And for those of you that actually watches our show, whatever, and that's because we basically majored in communication, and we got to try to learn it more. And
ways of communication.
The ways of communicating. You know what I'm saying? And there's different forms of it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to relationship. So we're going to go over some of those forms of relationships or whatever. Let us know if you agree or disagree or whatever. Even if you have a certain thing or whatever. Communication, you know what I'm saying? Then a type of communication that we might miss. Let us know in the comments. All right. So let's go. I'm gonna start off with you, man, because I don't know, for some reason, dog, I feel like you got a little I don't know. You've been kind of a little therapeutic with it. Yeah.
Okay. So this came to me. Was you able to pull up the clip actually?
Which one?
The one I sent you. Or the message, could you pull that up?
You sent me a clip?
Yeah.
So you didn't tell me.
I should have told you that before, but I seen this clip.
Keep talking like that.
And I thought that it'd be really dope that we talk about it, because I think that we're all in relationships and we don't even know what style we're communicating in. And a lot of times, I think a big part of the reason why we can't properly communicate is because we don't know how to communicate, and we don't know how we're communicating. And when I Googled it and I looked it up, there's multiple styles of communication, but there are only 4 main styles in communicating in a relationship. Okay. And so those 4 styles are, I know a lot of y'all know this, are assertive, passive, passive-aggressive, and aggressive. And so when I looked up these and I started to realize that I'm a combination of all of these, I have done all of these. And when my relationships weren't going properly, I know which ones that I was doing.
Right.
Okay. And so I kind of want to break it down and explain what each one of them are. And so we're going to start off with passive. Passive people, passive communicators tend to avoid expressing their feelings and opinions and needs. So they kind of just play the back burner. A lot of times I've been a victim. I've been guilty of that of myself. Aggressive, we know what that means, tend to speak in a louder tone, interrupt often, criticize, blame, and humiliate their partner, and dominate or control their partner. And I know we've all experienced that, right?
Right.
Passive aggressive tend to attempt to make their partner aware of their needs in an indirect way. I think that maybe 2 weeks ago, Fuel was trying to corner some damn body. I think that's a passive aggressive way of communication.
No,
but we're gonna get into it later. We're gonna get into it later.
No. I gotta defend myself because I wasn't meaning corner in a bad way. I wasn't meaning corner as in being, some sort of manipulative type of way or whatever. It's just it was kind of like finalize what that person really are to you, type of thing. And when I say corner, it's kind of like, in life, we need somebody for something, period. You're with someone for a reason. You're with someone for something. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you go through a relationship or you go through friendship without really pinpointing on what that is and understanding that person is there for you or not. So when I say corner, I don't mean corner in a bad way. I mean just kind of like see what, just understand. Like when you need someone, see if they come through for you.
It's passive aggressive Fuel.
Whatever, man. That's not.
It's passive aggressive Fuel.
No, it's not.
Look,
it's not.
And then last but not least, of course, is assertive. And they tend to clearly advocate and identify their needs and feelings without disrespecting the needs and feelings of their partner. And they value their own needs as well as the needs of their partner. This is where I'm trying to get, right? With dealing, and I want you guys to jump into the comments and ask yourselves, what style of a communicator are you in a relationship?
Oh no, you say you're trying to get, what do you mean
assertive? And I'm going to explain it.
You're trying to get
but okay. Are you assertive? Are you passive? Are you passive aggressive? Or is your ass just damn aggressive? So let me know in the comments and chat up. And so I'm gonna tell you what I mean by more assertive. When I broke this down, I'm definitely not as assertive as I thought I was. Because a lot of times when advocating my feelings and needs, I tend to avoid the needs and feelings of my partner, right? So I'm operating more in an aggressive and a passive aggression form, and not really realizing. Because what I do love about the assertiveness is you're not passing on your feelings and your emotions and bottling everything up. You're being assertive and intentional about how you feel and communicating how you feel. But with that, you're also being open, right? Understanding, and you're empathizing with someone within your communication, within expressing yourself. And what this does is gives you a better way to properly articulate yourself, not just in a relationship, but when you're emotionally frustrated, right? And you're trying to get your emotions across, and you're trying to get your feelings across. I think that it's huge that we all start to use the assertive approach of communication, because we're able to properly communicate in a relationship. I think the other 3 you just doomed, right? I think 2 of them for sure we know are just not going to work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so let's just jump in the clip and let the clip talk about it. She kind of breaks it down.
Okay.
Sister is very deep. She always give me some game about relationships that I take home to my lady.
Yeah.
And she's very, very beautiful young lady.
Let me see if I can find it.
And she don't play no games. And what I love about her the most is she a lot harder on women. She's just as hard on women as I am. So I appreciate her.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get to it. You got it?
Yeah, here we go.
All right. And she explains it very well.
But you got to understand there are forms, expressions, and styles of communication. We have assertive communication, which is the only communication style that works in a relationship because it's self-advocating, but it has validation and empathy. And then you have passive, passive-aggressive, and aggressive communication, and you need to know those styles. And also in conflict and misunderstanding, what style does that person actually operate in? Because I can naturally be a passive or a passive-aggressive person. And then when I'm in conflict, I can be aggressive. The only one that's going to work is assertive because it's still telling you that I understand what you're saying. Even though I may not agree, I understand. I feel how you feel, but it won't work for me without actually being disrespectful. So you have to be able to identify that, and a lot of couples don't know how because the way we learn how to communicate in our upbringing, we take pieces of everybody.
Exactly.
And we think when we come into relationships that my communication works, that we're morally elite, that this works. And so
But
it's
it might not work for whoever you're
but
dealing
absolutely
with.
not. Exactly.
So when we talk,
Is that it? Yeah.
And like she said, you guys, I deal with this a lot too. I think that we enter relationships with our past experience and think that we know how to properly communicate because we know what we did wrong in the last relationship, and we have all this new acquired knowledge, and we enter this relationship thinking that we have all the answers. But what she said was she gave us a gem, right, by saying that just because you learn how to communicate right properly with that person, it's different from each relationship because how one person reacts when they're emotional, they act different when they're not emotional. Okay. And so when you're dealing with that person, you have to understand on how to actually properly communicate with that person.
Right. What was some of the other styles
besides these four?
Yeah.
I think
I think one was that I don't know if I heard you say it, but did you do the nonverbal and verbal?
Yeah, they had nonverbal and verbal.
What about optical?
No.
Okay, so optical mutation is seeing someone, having your sights set on someone and noticing the existence of someone. The moment that your peepers see another person and their peepers see you, the optical type of communication begins. So that's basically just seeing, like when you're seeing that or whatever, and that communication, when you actually see someone or whatever, you kind of have an optical aspect as to what that person and how to communicate with that person. You follow me? You know what I mean? And so that's what and I think that's a lot to do with more so even just meeting someone when you first meet someone. You know, when you first meet someone, you know, you or either say like if you're just dating online or something, you first meet them or whatever, and you know, and it's a potential relationship or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if you guys are not communicating I want to say optically, or you know what I'm saying, just basically by seeing them and being able to knowing their demeanor, their talk, their event, their feeling or whatever, when they, you know, because sometimes people get misunderstood just by
what you're talking about,
by what you're even talking about, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and they read right into it, like, damn, you know, if he say like you could have had 2 baby mamas, you know what I'm saying, and her, you know, she sees you or whatever, and you look like, yeah, he like a player. You see what I'm saying? That's the optical, you know, communication. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he look like he's just, you know, doing, you know, in the streets. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Already giving that prejudgment or whatever. You know, as opposed to some of the other things that you were saying, the nonverbal or the verbal. You know, and but actually, optical and nonverbal is kind of most of the same.
Same thing.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that was that one. And then there was auditory, but I don't know much about auditory. That's more I have to look into too. As far as and I think when they said auditory, I'm thinking does that mean just verbal or something as well, you know? So
I have a question for you, and then for the viewers, right? How do you be assertive without being aggressive?
How do you be assertive?
How do you be assertive in communication and communicating with someone without being aggressive or passive aggressive?
It's the tone.
Okay.
It's the tone. It's the tone in which you ask. It's the tone in which you actually communicate with whatever that you're asking for, or whatever that you're trying to bring a point across. I'm one person. I have a problem with tone because my voice is aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So when I come off, I don't mean to come off aggressive, but and I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? It was like a learn thing or whatever. This shit like this is therapeutic for me as well.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people will take it me like I could come off to you. You think I'm the meanest nigga in the world. Like this is, people do, you know what I mean? Because of the way my tone is. And I'm just kind of learning like how to just kind of like tone it. And sometimes the patience of sitting back and saying, okay, let me think about this first. Take a breath. And then
react.
Because when you take a breath, like I can start talking like this, and I'm talking, and you hear my tone is getting voice, it's getting heavier, it's going to go, you know what I'm saying? I ain't taking that breath. But if I'm doing this, I this, and then I'm like, but you know what I'm really trying to say is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
That's the difference.
For sure.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I just want to ask that because I think the reason why I am not more assertive because I try to avoid being aggressive and I end up being passive, right? But then once I get frustrated, it ends up become passive aggressive. Do you get what I'm saying? So I try to let me break it down.
Does the frustration change your tone
each time? Right. So let me break it down. When I'm trying to exert my feelings and my emotions, I don't get the reaction that I want. Right. So I shut down and become passive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Once I shut down and become passive, I begin to become aggressive when I'm trying to communicate how I feel because I can't properly articulate.
Where you don't feel like you're being heard
right?
From the very beginning.
And then immediately after the aggression, now I'm like, oh, it ain't nothing, but it is something, right? And so that passive aggression is still running off. And I think that a huge part for being assertive for me is basically kind of removing my emotions out of it. Even though that's easier said than done, what I mean is
I don't feel like that you should move because your emotions is real. Your emotions is your feelings. Your emotion is basically where all of it is coming from. It's just knowing how to control your emotions.
Absolutely.
And to bring that emotion across in the way that is not
and let me explain what I mean by removing my emotions. I think that when we communicate while in our emotions, we don't properly, one, convey what we're trying to say. Two, we don't properly receive what is being said to what we have conveyed. And three, we're just not properly communicating. You get what I'm saying?
If you remove
once you remove your emotions, you're able to think logically and clearly. And when you're able, that's what I said. Look, when you're able to think logically and clearly, I can articulate my emotions better. Because if you ever notice when you're real upset, you get clogged, you start running over your words, you start stuttering, and then you end up saying some shit you don't even want to say because you couldn't articulate what you really needed to say. Because a lot of the times you're operating from an emotional place, and you really want to convey what your emotions are. But if you come off on a logic side and say, look,
so are you saying like before bringing into the emotions, like kind of like check
the emotions at the door
first?
And this is something that
I'm just asking because
absolutely
check your emotions at the door first, and then communicate within that, and then give your emotions later.
No. Understanding
I'm
that
just trying to understand.
I got you. Understanding that if I begin to communicate emotionally, then I won't properly be able to communicate or articulate my emotions. Does that make sense? Because I'm entering the conversation emotionally, I am not properly articulating how I feel.
But
I'm just going off of my feelings.
But you can't do both. Is that what you're saying too?
No, I think that
can
first,
you be emotionally, and articulate in a way to and calmly or whatever, and still have that communication?
Not if you're caught in your emotions, right?
If you caught in
if
that
you're caught
part
in
of
your emotions, right?
So if your emotions overtaking the conversation, overtaking the situation,
then you won't be able to properly articulate.
Exactly.
And that's why I say you have to remove the emotion.
Got it.
Right? Not saying that you have to be heartless or ice cold.
No.
Then you kind of got to just remove how you feel and express how you feel.
Let's use an example, just like you just said. For example, with me, when I got a close friend, and things don't go right, I basically blow off of that emotion of that person being close to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not articulating. I'm more so
mad about him doing you the way they did you.
And just speaking what's on my mind or whatever, and it goes from here to here to here.
Instead of articulating,
instead of checking
why this emotion has even aroused.
Cool, like, why am I right here? And it takes that breath or that minute to just let me think about this. You know what I'm saying? So I get exactly what you're saying, and actually that's a good practice too for me, because when I call somebody my friend, when I call somebody my like our team or whatever, I mean it.
Yeah.
So when somebody go against that, I'm very defensive to it, and my emotions takes over. And I can't. You can't even
logically say what you feel
until after everything's over, and I'm like, damn.
I could have said this. I could have articulated this. I could have said it this way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's why I get check it out.
I'm guilty of it, y'all. I just did it. You know what I'm saying? I just did it, and realizing that I do that a lot, and I gotta change that, and that's the real reason why a lot of times me and my girl, when we do get into little frets and little arguments, it be a little shit like that, because I take shit serious.
Yeah.
And instead of emotionally expressing or logically expressing that or articulating that hurt my feelings, I react off the hurt feelings.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that more.
Let's get into these comments.
In a second. We're to get these comments real quick. Old boy Fuel did what to who? What are you talking about, Curly? What did I say earlier? I don't know.
Fuel be wilding out, y'all.
I didn't do nothing. Maybe is she talking about cornering? I don't know.
Yeah, cornering. He like the corner.
I don't corner nobody.
Hand gestures, absolutely.
Hand gestures, yes. That's what I was saying earlier. Right. I am very assertive in my relationship as a manager.
And as a manager.
And as a manager. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Talk calm. Yep.
Absolutely.
What's that?
Not hearing and understanding where your partner is coming from. Yeah.
Tony by Erica. What's up, Erica?
Kraut, what's up?
In there, baby.
Nick says, I'm assertive, but I tend to feed off the person. You're not going to yell at me, laugh my ass off.
No, for real, no. That's kind of like the first reaction. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how you sometimes you do feed off of other people.
You're not going to yell at me.
Somebody come at you or whatever, you be like, you know what? And then next you know, it's a big ass shout match.
But you know what? Jay-Z got one of the greatest lines ever. Said, wise man told me don't argue with fools. Because people from a distance can't tell who is who.
Okay. All right.
So if they yelling, let them yell. That's what I'm learning. It's easier said than done, but
and the empathy of the situation without putting your feelings first, learning how to listen.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm bad at that.
Yeah.
I'm usually listening to respond though.
Yeah.
I'm not
that part,
right? I'm usually listening to respond and not to. That's another thing we do.
Because sometimes we listen and we are already trying to come up with what
our answer is instead of listening to what they're saying, registering it, taking it all the way in, and logically articulating it, right? But we be so trying to get off what we feel in the emotional side of it that we just jump right in.
And she said, but clearly seeing the other person's view. Nick said, always remember when yelling, you fall on defense ear. Yes. On convo checks out at the moment. Exactly. Convo checks out at the moment. That is true. You know what I mean? But I think you really hit something on the nail, especially with me just now. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to communicating, you know, and being the entrepreneurs that we are, you know what I mean? And we're going to be around people. You know, we're going to be around, we're going to have teams with us, you know what I'm saying? Other people with us. And I can't speak to them like I would speak to somebody on the street. You know what I'm saying? I have to check and listen to what they're saying. What is it that they're needing and all that type of stuff or whatever in order for us to communicate. You know, and you have some that don't even like if you can't gauge what you deal with by the type of way that they communicate back to you. You know, because sometimes people will not communicate back to you when you basically maybe they kind of like, oh, you know. And sometimes when people don't do that, they were around for the wrong purpose anyway. You see what I'm saying? So that part. So yeah, that's one thing I need to learn or whatever is to take that breath, man, and just kind of like And in the relationship, and even in the relationship, I mean, mainly because that's what we are talking about in a relationship, man. You know, sometimes, and that's why like when you are like I'm gonna say my grandfather because you know I never really my mom and dad I never really see them together, but. You know, grandpa would be like, you know what? I'm not going to argue. I'm about to go ahead and chill for a second. And we're going to talk about this. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I just want to gather my thoughts.
Gather my thoughts, man.
You know what I'm saying?
So I can
come and so we can actually, and not even that, it's so we can handle the situation.
Yeah, so I can properly check this shit.
And properly have it taken care of. You know, and that's how you end up with a longer marriage.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That type of thing or whatever. So,
because your woman's gonna respect you because you know how to deal with her and talk to her, and you command a certain level of respect without being overly aggressive, without being overly loud or being disrespectful. You're able to convey how you feel at a certain tone. That when you do even raise that tone, they understand the frustration in your voice and they know to calm their ass down off the dribble because of the way that you communicate with them. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Curly. We appreciate you. We appreciate your comments, man. We really love you.
Always.
And if you guys out there, because we do get a lot of viewers, you guys that's scared to comment.
Yeah, no, for real.
Y'all can comment.
We're
family here.
We ain't gonna
basically, we're not gonna bite. We're gonna, we just basically give our opinions, and your opinion is not judged. You know what I mean? And so we see a lot of people that are actually that is watching or whatever. You know, you can comment, and if you don't comment, just share it or whatever, and give some thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into the next topic, whatever. But first, you know, we gotta play our little commercial.
Hey, play that commercial.
Gotta play my only commercial, but hey, I paid for it. Hey.
Fired Up Broadcasting, the place to be for your video recording and voiceover needs. Want to be a podcaster? You can rent this beautiful studio space for a low and reasonable price. We have dynamic lighting to set the tone, on-site engineer, fully equipped with top-of-the-line quality video recording, and more. So make your appointment now by emailing firedup.broadcasting@gmail.com. See you soon.
See y'all soon.
See y'all soon.
Better pull up.
Yeah. So I hope y'all got a good look of the other studio and everything. So for those of you that actually are interested in doing a podcast or a show like ours, you know what I mean? We can work something out here in the studio. You know, we got everything that you need. You know, you're at an actually commercial building, professional. And that's the other thing too. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people. Yes, lots of people that does podcasts. A lot of people that does radio show. A lot of them, you know, but a lot of them don't have professionalism.
No.
You know, and if you can see, a lot of them may not even last. You know what I'm saying? But here, you guys, we're being as professional as possible. You're going to get all professional work done, all that good stuff here. So anyway, enough of me selling for private broadcasting.
No, for real. What's the next topic?
So the next topic, man, what is a financial plan? And how important is it to help create your wealth? Create wealth.
Okay.
A financial plan, to me, you know, and it is.
And I got some definitions and all of that stuff.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and
do the definition first before I even get into it.
So, according to Investopedia, A financial plan is a document containing a person's current money situation and long-term monetary goals, as well as a strategy or strategies to achieve those goals. A financial plan begins with a thorough evaluation of the person's current financial state and future expectations, and may be created independently or with a certified financial planner.
Say it again.
I'm gonna tell you again. I'm gonna break it down. Say a financial plan is a document containing a person's current money situation and long-term monetary goals, as well as strategy.
Long-term monetary goals?
Yep, long-term monetary.
Long-term.
Oh, I'm sorry. Long-term monetary goals, as well as strategies to achieve those goals. A financial plan begins with a thorough evaluation of the person's current financial state and future expectations, and may be created independently or with the certified financial planner.
I need a certified financial planner. I do have a financial plan for myself as well, but I need someone to watch over it. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
I need someone that basically, because I can, have this plan to do this and to do that, but all shit start coming up and occurring or whatever, and I will put my focus towards it as opposed to what I actually really planned. You know what I'm saying? Financially. And I'm talking about you spending money on shit that you probably, because you want to, have something for in the now that maybe somebody else got going on, and you want to be like, okay, let me have that too. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing or whatever. And even in the professionalism or whatever, you know what I'm saying? When we just talked about, studios and equipment and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You have to have a financial plan to where you, when you're going to get that certain mic, when you're going to get that certain equipment or whatever, like for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be a whole blown radio station pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? And it takes planning for that. It's not something that you can just do overnight, which I realized at first. I was kind of like, when I first started, I was like, oh shit, we got the building. Hey, we gotta get the equipment that quick or whatever. But it doesn't happen that quick because there are other steps that takes place with finance. There's a place that take place with regulations and licensing and all of that type of stuff or whatever that you didn't think of. Even like your taxes or whatever, shit that you didn't think of, whatever that goes in play or whatever. So you have to have those plans. You know what I'm saying? Once you learn, okay, this is the taxes, this is blah, 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 or whatever. Well, I'll probably be able to have this by, next year or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And we've been here, 2 years or whatever. And I think we got a lot done. We got a lot going for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? So, but the plan is to be full blown or whatever. Yeah. So I basically, and financially, it's like with me, I think I would have I need someone financially to help me look over those. You know what I'm saying? So I can stay on track. Hold me accountable for like not, blowing my money for this or blowing my money for that. You know what I mean? That type of thing or whatever. So yeah.
I think the first thing we need to do, like Phil said, I think because right now what I'm doing, I'm in the process of creating my financial plan as well. The first thing you need to do is start tracking your expenses.
Yeah, you just tell me that.
I spent so much damn money, Fuel. I added, so I was supposed to do 2 weeks of tracking my financial expenses, and I did like 2 weeks and a couple of days. But even with that, I was supposed to stop at the 18th, and I stopped today, right? So I added like 2 more days. But even with that, I spent $3,650
in a month.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, brother. In 2 weeks. And so when you break it down, you get to see where the money is going.
Yeah.
Ton of money on fucking gas, right? And what I'm doing is being cheap. And I'm doing this to tell you how a financial plan is important. Instead of being cheap, by being cheap, I'm hurting my bottom line.
Right. Exactly.
Instead of just filling up once or twice a week, I'm nickel and diming, 15 here, 25 here, 30 here, 55 here, instead of 55, 55, 55, 55. that's still under that'll be me gassing up twice a week. That means me filling up twice a week for that 2 weeks, right?
Are you taking advantage of and I know this is also have something to do. I mean, do you take advantage of coupons or the gas station?
I'm not taking advantage of that
especially
yet.
if you're spending that much money, like you said, in gas or whatever. You'll be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, that could be part of your financial
Absolutely.
planning.
I'm spending a ton of money on beer and alcohol.
Yeah.
We know that. I'm spending. I've gotten
marijuana.
That's the thing.
You did cut down on that.
I've gotten very good at marijuana.
Yeah.
A lot less than what I've spent, but still too much. I came a little money, so I bought a little more than I usually do. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'm at like 120. I was at like 300 before, just knowing that. But I think that a huge part of being able to track your expenses, that can show you where a lot of your money is going. And then what you do is I'm gonna break everything down, but then you're able to see how much money is coming in and then how much money is actually going out. And I was looking on my Acorn account, and I'm 33, I'll be 34 in October. If I save $30 a week until I'm 65, it's almost $1 million.
Damn.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And
we don't look at it like that.
And we don't look at it
right?
like that, right? But that's what's dope about the financial planning and how it's going to help you create wealth. So with you want to get the licenses to be able to play music.
Right.
So I track my expenses. I say, this is how much the financial goal is $5,000. And I make this much a month. And when you start to see like, damn, I spent $10,000 in the last 2 months, and 3,500 of it was bullshit.
Right.
Or I could have cut here on expenses, When you start to see that extra 3,500 goes towards the financial goal.
Right.
And so that's what I'm learning. So I went to Charles Schwab for y'all, and I got 8 components of a good financial plan. Okay, and we're gonna start with number 1. What are your financial goals? Fuel is to take the studio to the next level. Mine is to create mine is to create 5 streams of income in the next 2 years. Okay. A net worth statement. And this is basically going to let you know what all you got.
A net worth statement.
A net worth statement, meaning
that's from your account, from your banking account.
If you put what you do is you put how much all of the assets and everything that you own, and put it towards how much debt you have.
Right.
And if you go negative, that's how much money that's what you worth.
Right.
That's your net worth.
Exactly.
So if I only got $10,000 through all my accounts and all my assets, and I have $60,000 in student loans, I am $50,000 in debt, and I'm in a negative.
Right.
Okay. So the next thing I want to do is now I want to budget, and I'm going to get a cash flow plan. So I know how much money coming in, and I'm going to budget towards that. You know what I'm saying? Then I know once I've done my net worth, I know I'm in debt.
Right.
So now I got to set up a debt management plan. $20 here, $30 here to be able to manage that.
Take that down.
Then, like I told y'all, we don't talk about this a lot, but retirement. 5th is set up a retirement plan. Like I said, $30 a week. When you're in your 30s, when you get older, it costs more. It obviously go up more. But $30 a week, I think it was a little under $1 million or a little over $500,000 or something like that. Still a lot of money for $30 a day for the next 30 years.
Right.
I mean, $30 a week for the next 30 years. Then it says set yourself up in an emergency fund.
Right.
Set up emergency funds. This is money that you don't touch. This is money that's just in case of emergency. And then it says insurance coverage. What insurance coverage is if you do pass, that gives you access to wealth and gives your children access to wealth.
Right.
Okay. And then an estate plan, being able to all of your assets and all of the things that you own, putting it all under an estate to be able to see where and how you could distribute your financial, your finances and things like that.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna start over and tell you from the top.
Now, are these all the things that you basically have to put in plan in order to have a financial
to have a good one.
Yes.
The first top things for sure is what you need for the most part is financial goals, net worth statement, budget and cash flow planning. Okay. The other 5, right? These are going to make sure you accumulate a certain level of wealth.
Right.
The first 3 are going to make sure you don't spend too much damn money and you actually can't achieve your financial goals. These next 4 or 5 will be able to help you establish and create financial wealth. Because what a lot of people don't know is with insurance, you can buy life insurance, and if you buy the right type of life insurance, you can actually borrow towards your life insurance and buy actual assets on a life insurance and then pay yourself back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so a lot of people don't know about that. So that's another way to be able to establish wealth. Right. Same thing with the retirement plan. So you don't have to focus and rely solely on your savings. Yeah. You start to prepare a retirement plan. Yeah. And the estate is just to see what properties, right, that you're accumulating, assets that you're accumulating, which will be able to help you be able to make big purchases, which helps create wealth. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I need to pipe down and tighten up on that.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
After today, fuel, and I seen what I spent. Yeah. And like I said, I did it a little wrong because I was supposed to stop at the 18th, and I added up until today. Uh-huh. But even if you take away that little 400 or 500, I'm still at 3,000. In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, yeah. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And when I did it, I'm like, where the hell I get $3,000 from? Right. And that's that's the other thing. And that's the purpose of this financial plan. As much as you have, exactly. Because with that $3,000, if I would have limited here, I definitely could have scraped up $1,000 for the vending machine that I'm trying to save for now. Yep. Right? Or $1,000 to create this e-commerce that I was trying to do now. Exactly. So I think that when you establish the financial goals, and then you know how much you actually have and you have to work with, and then you know how much money is coming in, you know how to budget it. Now we can start talking about creating and taking here. So once I know, okay, I got an extra $100 every month, I can put 50 in my pocket, and I can take 50 and invest it, right? I can take 50 and put it in a stock. I can take 50 and put it here and let it work for me. Instead of, I got an extra $100. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Instead of splitting that $100 down the middle and making that $100 work for you. Yeah. And I know we all end up with an extra $50 to $40 or $30 a week.
So is your plan to mainly just all those things that you basically said is to go towards that, or what's the first?
The first step is the financial goals.
It's just to do it. Well, what's the first move though on that financial goal as far as saving and as far as?
So my first financial goal, like I say, is to start creating one of these 5 streams of income. And so I'm getting into vending machine and e-commerce. So the first financial goal will be to put together $3,000 to start the e-commerce and the vending machine. Right. I'm already at 900, so I need 2,100 left. I'm waiting on some money to come, so that's going to boost that. But then that's how I'm doing it. Right. So the next thing will be after those.
So do you have a debt, like a time frame, like say for in the next 2 months or 3 months?
In the next, it was supposed to be by my birthday, but I wasn't really October 15th. 15th? Yeah, so I still got a little time.
Same time as my sister, I keep forgetting.
Oh yeah. So I still got a little time, but I think that if I would have started financially planning earlier and seeing what expenses that I was spending and then balancing on what money was coming in, it would have helped me. And I would have had that damn vending machine and e-commerce. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because then I would have been able to tell my girl, no Paul Martin's at 139. Yeah, exactly. Because that Paul Martin's, even though it made her happy, that Paul Martin could have went towards the vending machine and e-commerce. But me not doing my financial plan and breaking down my budget properly, I didn't realize how valuable that 139 was. Or half of the $100 or $200 I'm spending on alcohol,
Right.
or the $75 I spent on just getting a little clothes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All of those things are shit that I did not need. I'm not talking about the gas. Of course, we could have did better with the gas. We could have did better. We could have filled up, right? I could have, at least when I did the expenses, I know for sure I could have cut out about $1,000.
Oh yeah.
For sure, hands down. So let's get into these comments.
Nick said, I went to school for financial planning, created a few switch to real estate and commercial services.
Okay.
Track expenses and do the envelope. What, the envelope system?
Envelope
Create a
system.
budget and stick to it. Yes, the envelope system. Okay. Now,
write that
what
down.
you might have to break that down to me. Is that like just saving money in the envelope type of thing, or what, Nick? Talk to us. Get a Vons card or food for less and use your points towards gas.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm going to access my fact.
I use a Shell. I have Shell. And no. Oh, you know what? We have this app too that's called if you guys want to save money on gas, and I'm telling y'all, this really, really helps. There's an app. It's called I have it. Dang it, hold on, you guys. Here it is. Oh, Upside. Did I send it to you?
You did. I got it.
You didn't go on to it?
I didn't
No wonder
like
I ain't got my referral.
Yeah, I didn't like it. The only thing I don't like about Upside is because you don't get the discount right away.
Yes, you do.
It's
but no, you don't get the discount right away. But then that's the whole mindset.
Yeah.
Because, say for instance, I can fill my tank up for $60, but I actually really filled it up for say $55 because I saved, so that money is back into my.
It go back to the Upside. Okay.
It goes right back to the account.
Okay.
Although you might not see it right then, but by within 24 hours or 48 hours. It's still back in your account where you didn't pay as much as you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of mindset you have. I know what you mean. Like with Shell, I get, 25 cents off of the gallon
right away.
Then,
it's instant.
At that time or whatever, but you don't get money back. You know what I'm saying? And that 25 cents that you just saved on there is not much when you can do the same thing at with this app or whatever and get $1.25 back, $1, or $2 back. I've been using it for what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all a real time. Like I still got it I got $2.65 still on there. But I'm gonna give y'all a real time savings that I've saved doing this.
Nigga, I'm getting a Rouse card right now.
Okay. So I know we worked on this bad boy. I was trying to see. Oh, there it is. Okay. So far, you guys, I started, and I want to show y'all. Okay. So far, you guys, when I started this 2 months ago. 2 months ago for gas, and it gives you it tracks you how much you saved. You can't see it because you got on green over there. But anyway, so I started what? This is August. I started in July, the end of June. No, so it's July. So say from July, August, which was 2 months, $65. $65, and it's right here. I know you guys can't see it or whatever because of the green screen. It's kind of like blocking it off. But $65 or whatever, dude, that you didn't realize that you can save by doing that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to check it out.
So just think if you save that $65 and that can go towards what you were saying here in your financial plan.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And although, like you said, you might not see it immediately or whatever, like you said on that thing, but then it was in there and I didn't ever touch it because I didn't, pay no attention to it. And sometimes you just pay attention to it. So when you do, by you giving me this information just now or whatever, that's something that can go towards, you know what I mean? So that part. Nick, let's see what else we got. Curly was saying, right, fat boy. Income minus expenses or asset minus liabilities is your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Emergency fund, 6 months worth of monthly bills.
Okay. Gang, what's up, Nick? Carolyn says, first of all, never spend more than you make. So if you were only grossing in a couple of thousand a month, then your bill should not exceed the couple of thousand. You should be able to save 25%. Sometimes it's easier said than done, Carolyn. But no, absolutely.
Behind, but that's the whole thing. It's
that's why you write it down. Yeah, that's why you write it down and get
where the ideal and the discipline. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we're not, especially us as a black culture, we're not that disciplined.
No, for sure.
Because we want shit now.
We gotta have it. You gotta have it now.
Everybody else got it. This got it, or whatever the case would be. We want it now. But it does take a lot of discipline for this whole thing, actually, to be honest with you. But it's very educational, and that we don't educate each other enough with. You know what I'm saying? As far as growing up, like with our kids, when I think I teach my daughter a little bit, but not as much as like, you know what I'm saying, like some of the stuff that I'm still learning, you know what I mean? Especially as a black business owner, you know what I mean? It's a whole different ball game, you know. Curly said, like my home is valued at $180,000. My car is $60,000. Saving and what's that? Roth IRA is at $100,000. My car and home is paid off, so these are my net worth. Isn't that worth $100,000? Hey,
no, she worth way more than that.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. I know this is gonna be surprising when she say that the house is $180,000. You're Curly, you're in Kansas City, right? You know what I mean? Our
that's
house
is $340. That ain't bad.
Our houses in Kansas
City.
Ain't bad. I wish it just takes a whole lot more here for that. You know, because our houses is no lower than $600,000.
For your net worth to be $340, that's pretty fucking well.
Oh, you seen that? Where'd you see that?
No, I put everything together.
Oh,
so 180.
You added it up. Oh, okay.
And 60. That's two.
And she said however she continually save.
Yeah, that's $340.
Make your money work for you. Exactly, Nick.
That's the goal.
Lust, let us speak truth. You're absolutely correct. Oh, that was Curly talking to Lust, to Nick. Okay, I was reading that. I thought Nick put that there.
Nicholas said an envelope system, label envelope expenses, entertainment, gas, food, and put your cash in each to cover all, included a saving one.
See, that's so fucking
a save.
Hard. That's hard for me to do.
Once that money is gone, you do it again. If you have leftovers, keep it in there. Okay.
See, that's hard for me to do. Just putting money in an envelope. I can just only put it in the bank and then. You know.
Yeah, but that's I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that for sure. It says for the next month, your mindset will change on how you spend and build your savings. For sure, I should be up. And now that I see how much I spent, I should be up about 10 bands in my savings.
Oh, she said, don't keep all your money in the bank.
No, you're not supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to. What I'm learning now is once you get a certain amount of your savings, you need to put some of that savings to work. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to stack 1,000. This is besides the money that I'm putting towards my businesses. I'm going to personally save 1,000, and I'm going to take that 1,000. I'm either going to take 500 of 1,000 and put it in like a year fund and see if I can make an extra couple, 200-300 off of it, or I'm going to take the 500 and invest in some stocks and try to create some money. Yeah. Because they have some things called index funds. They have some things called corporate stocks that I'm going to start looking into, and I'm going to take half that money and let it play, because what happens is the bank is getting a lot of money off of your money, but they only giving you a certain percentage. And so I remember one time I put 20 grand in the bank. This was years ago. I think in 2 years I made $25 on that $20,000. But how much you think the bank made off that 20 grand? Yeah. And so if I would have took that same 20 grand and put it in a Roth IRA and waited 5 years, I would have made probably a couple $100,000. Right. And so these are something that people need to understand. Look into Roth IRAs, look into different types of 401ks and things like that. Yeah, Curlin's in Kansas City. Yes. That's why I said when you said 180, I know you had to be like in the Midwest somewhere, because houses are cheap there, man. $180, $180,000, dude. That's crazy. That's a nice house too. I know it is. We can't even get a
You can't even buy a condo for that much here. You can't even get a daggone apartment. 180 a year. It's crazy. All right. So, Fat Boy, right, Fat Boy. It's time to invest. Yeah,
I agree.
Exactly.
It's time to start investing, and
Yeah.
especially to my
but you know
young
what?
black
The
men.
good thing about what you just basically, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Mhm.
but the thing that you just basically brought out just now has opened up that dialect with us or with me to invest.
Mhm.
To you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you don't talk about it
Mhm.
or nobody else is around you about it. And that's kind of like where you gotta, know who your friends are or you
Mhm.
surround yourself with,
Find right people,
that
yeah.
that's either doing it, teach you to do it, or either trying to, better themselves or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be, and teaching you as well. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about, when you just said that or whatever. It's kind of like, because I spent a hell of a lot of money. Hell of a lot. Even just doing this, I think if I had basically planned it out in a better way, I probably would still
Way
show
less.
that network,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying,
For
or
sure.
whatever, as opposed to trying to wait on funding from SBA or all these other financial, things or
You
whatever.
could create your own
I could have
funding.
created my own.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But when you get in it, the people don't teach you.
One
Nobody
thing I
don't
learned
really try to tell you. You gotta try to learn your own, so you just do as you can.
with just
on the way.
hustling with Uber.
Yeah.
What I was doing is I realized that I was saving and I was working backwards because I always end up having to dip into my savings.
Mm-hmm.
But that was because I only had one income. And so what you have to learn is that if you have to live off the income, it's very hard for you to save and to invest off of income that you're living.
Yeah.
So what I learned was when I wanted to create and make a new purchase, I learned to go work for it. So say I got $300 in my savings and I got a purchase I want to purchase. It's $300. I can pull the $300 out my savings and purchase it, or
go out.
I can go hustle up the $300, keep the $300 in my savings, and let that, and then go make the $300 and make the purchase.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm learning now is what's the purchase for. We have to make a better purchase.
Yeah.
The purchase has to be something.
Necessary?
It has to be necessary, and if it is, if it's not necessary, it has to make money.
Yeah.
So that 300, if it at least bare minimum, it has to turn into 350.
Right. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Bare minimum, because if you don't, you just wasted $300.
Exactly. That's true. That is true.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I'm learning is if you keep giving out, you're getting out, and you're not having anything coming in, that's why your savings is dwindling.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have no extra cash.
Exactly.
For me, no disposable cash is what's it's called.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have any of that because every time you do get some disposable cash, instead of basically breaking it down and understanding, okay, this is not really disposable because I got storage, phone bill, this and that, right?
Now, what was the it was something you said at first, the very beginning. It's called a financial what, as far as someone helping you with that?
Oh, it's called a financial planner.
Just a financial planner.
Yeah, they make good money too.
Yeah. But the only thing the only reason you would get a financial planner though is if you
got a big dog,
you're making money.
Yeah.
Or they're making you money.
Yeah. But I think,
right?
Yeah.
Do they have to be making you money or giving you smart decisions?
They have to be making you money, but then you have to have enough money to pay them.
Yeah, exactly. That's
which in itself, to me, goes against the financial plan.
Well,
unless you're making a ton of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're making you the money and putting you in that position to where you're going to constantly be making money, and they're charging for that service of doing that, and they're being successful in doing that, I don't see anything wrong.
Right. But you could go take the same knowledge and save the money that you're paying them, because all they're going to tell you is look into Roth IRAs, look into 401k, look into insurance. Just those 8 things that I just told you. Financial goal. What are your financial goals? Put together a net worth statement, budget and cash flow planning, debt management plan, retirement plan, emergency fund, insurance coverage, and an estate plan. Yeah. You can do each of these yourself.
But that's a lot with everyday life when everything, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said it's like sometimes is it worth it hiring someone to do it as opposed to doing it
I
yourself,
think
and
if
actually getting it done right, because everything is
if it's
thrown at you the way
if
that
it's
things
feasible,
are these days. Yeah.
yes, right. If it in itself is not an extra expense, like you say, if he's making his money in gold, so if I'm paying him $1,000 a month or every 2 months, then he needs to be bringing me in $2,000 every 2 months.
Right, exactly.
At least, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I need him to offset and balance, but I can erase that, take those 3 to 5 hours that he's going to take a week or 5 to 10 hours a week, find some extra time, do my balance sheet, because all it really is tracking your expenses.
Right.
Knowing what the goal is,
right.
Tracking the expenses and understanding how much money you got coming in.
Yeah.
And not spending that. Yeah. So if I have to stop getting lunch and I have to go to the grocery store and take $10 and get a loaf of bread, some turkey, and some cheese and make sandwiches for the next month, that's going to cut the expense of $150 to $25.
Right.
So now I have $125 to save or invest.
Right.
That's just on cutting lunch.
Yeah. And it's amazing. So I think, and I definitely, you're onto something. You're straight up onto something. You know what I mean? And that's one of the teachings or whatever that we need to continue to push each other on.
Absolutely.
Or whatever, because we will get off, thrown off track, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think Fat Boy now is she says time to invest.
It absolutely.
Then she said fuel the home here are twice the size in LA, but my home was built from the ground. Yeah,
oh,
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
So you got everything you want in that.
I don't know if you knew the curling, but I'm from Kansas City. Yeah. I know. You know what I mean? And then she says, if my home was built in LA, it would value at $500,000 for 200 square feet curling. It'll be more than $500,000.
Definitely over.
Trust me, definitely over $500,000. Most of the houses that are maybe, what is it, 1,600 feet or something like that, or whatever, is 600. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you ain't even.
Yeah. It's 600K. So your house would be worth some big money here. You know what I mean?
I'll be down there for my multifamily this summer.
You hear that?
So either KC, I'm looking at KC or Virginia.
Yeah,
because I'm putting some financial plan together. I need a 20 piece, and then I'm getting my first rental property.
Okay, well let's get into this next one, you guys. This is a doozy here, and I know y'all might have a lot of something to say about this, and maybe not. It might be a short one. Man, so. This is a question to you guys, to you, of course, too, as well. When is it a time to actually leave in a relationship? When do you feel like
I had to put my pen down? I had to situate myself, sure.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, so I mean that's the question, like when to go and when to stay.
When to go and when to stay.
When I'm gonna start off with you, of course. When do you think is a time to actually leave? Do you know an actual point in time where, like, of course, growing up, we've seen, we've gotten warning signs and signals or red flags and stuff like that or whatever. But when do you know to actually leave, especially if you've been in a relationship for a few years? You know what I mean? And things, might start off hunky-dory cool for the first couple, whatever. But then now things is going array. You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to what should I do? Like, when is a time?
I think the moment that communication starts to fall on deaf ears, but I think most importantly, I think the moment you realize that you love yourself more than you love that person. I think that a lot of times we be so obsessed or so caught up in a relationship that will allow them to do whatever to us because we're so in love with them.
Right.
But I think at the point where you realize your worth, your self-worth, and also realize that you love yourself more than you love that person, I think that you will understand when it's time for you to go. Because no one could probably pretty much tell you when it's time for you to leave a situation that you're in and that's detrimental to you, except for yourself.
Right.
I think that the moment you start to, because you've been feeling it, you've been feeling you should leave. You've been feeling unwanted. You've been feeling emotionally stressed and all of these things, but you haven't felt it enough. The impact hasn't been hard enough for you to move.
Or you gluten yourself to hurt and pain when you were constantly standing something that you just it's more so you're being hopeful for to grow and to be big. You know what I'm saying? Because the pain is going to come regardless.
Yeah.
And you got to understand that no matter how long that you're in it, that pain is waiting to just come and tear you apart. Because you didn't let it build. You didn't let it constantly grow inside of you or whatever. And until you actually do something, it's going to be there. Right now, it's nicking away with you little by little because you're trying to stay in it. You know what I'm saying? And when you were getting to and when you were in that part, as to 1 minute you're happy, next minute you fucking can't stand the motherfucker. Next minute you're happy, next minute you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? If that's what you're constantly going through, I think that's when it's time to go. That's when it's time to go, because now you're letting it build so much or whatever to the point where there's nothing nobody else can say or do, until you get that.
And I think it's all about I'm done, right? I think you like I said, I go back to what I was saying. I think the moment you realize that you deserve better, I think that's where it really starts.
Yeah.
I think you have to, once again, right, take your emotions out of it and think logically and say, what am I really getting from this relationship? How is this relationship really benefiting me? And when you start to do that and you come back with all negative things or you come back with all positive things, then you know to stay, or vice versa, you know to leave. But I think that we be so caught up in the relationship and wanting it to work that we're not able to ask ourselves, how is this relationship benefiting me and how am I benefiting this relationship? And I think the moment we realize that, immediately we see our value or we see our value or lack thereof within that relationship. In the moment that you see the lack of value that you're seeing in a relationship, that's in anything, you're going to want to remove yourself from it. But then you have to first see value in yourself.
And I think that's sometimes a weakness for some people is that they don't see the value in themselves. You know what I'm saying? They thinking that they're going to be alone. They feel like they or be afraid to be alone, or feel like that they wasn't good enough for that person, and and you trying to keep it and try to do things and to make them stay, but it's not working. And I think one of the key things is in a relationship is, one, if you got to tell somebody what to do, as opposed to them just doing it for you to feel happy about the relationship, you know what I'm saying? Then that's right there is a sign to say that person ain't there for you. They might be, they'll give you a little bit to try to shut you up. They give you an ear to just kind of like, get by, but they're not for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you had to basically guiding the relationship. You're basically telling, your significant other, hey, do this. Or why don't you do it? Why can't you do that? You know what I'm saying? Or, and then you're unhappy with it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not happy, that you're doing, even though that person might do it, even if that person might do it, you still not happy because you had to tell them. And they only doing it because you told them.
Yeah.
You should not have to go through a relationship like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, I've been through it. I basically where it's kind of like I constantly would do things on my own, expect things back. Expectation. I don't care who you say. Anytime you do something for somebody, they expecting something back. If you're in a relationship,
I don't.
No.
I stopped.
No. I'm not saying
'Cause
no.
men
It's
don't
not
get
saying
shit.
that you're like pinpoint just thinking like, oh, she better do this for me, or oh, you know, I want this because she's doing it. No, not that. But it's just a level of respect, a level of reliability where that someone, you know, is going to have towards you in a relationship. You know, she wants to be able to rely on me to do this. You know, I want to be able to rely on her to do that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not getting that, and if she's not getting that, you know what I'm saying, then we got it's a problem.
It's a huge issue.
It's a huge problem.
It's a huge issue.
And then that's when it's time to like look back and see what's going on or whatever and say, hey, can I go through my life, the rest of my life like this? Is this cool? And if you got kids, is this healthy?
Absolutely.
For our kids.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it healthy for me?
They're seeing this because as a kid, as you all know, as a kid, they see the type of relationship you're having. They see how mama's not happy. They see when daddy is on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They see those things.
They see it.
And understand that what they seeing is what they're going to grow into. Regardless of whether they run into somebody later and learn maybe later, but this is what they're seeing. This is what the naturing that you're giving them, whether you're really not doing it intentionally, but that's what you're doing.
That's what's happening.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So understand that when you're in a relationship that is not healthy and you're not really happy in it, you know, get in a place where you can actually be happy. You know, that's my whole, you know, when it's time to go or come time to say that or to stay, that's the whole, you know, that's my whole spiel on that.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Let's get to these comments.
Oh, we got a lot of comments. I was too busy. No, we got a few. Okay. True that. Stay line with the. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Where am I at? I'm way down.
We're right here.
This one.
Yeah, we got
Fat
Carolyn.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh, she said, holler at it.
Fat boy, holler. I have lots of room. All right, now we're gonna come pull up on you now.
No, right? We all be up in that beat.
We're gonna be all up in that thing now. You better stop playing.
True that. Stay in line with your key player. Let go. Let
God. Absolutely.
Who's that Facebook user?
I think that's the biggest thing. I think that we have to, and I think our key player being yourself. I think if we stay in line with ourselves and we focus on making ourselves happy, I think that we will be able to recognize when we're valued and when we're not valued.
But just like that Facebook, I wish I knew who that was, because that's actually real good advice. You know what I'm saying? Let go. Let go.
Let God. Amen.
Let go. Let God.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And because and it can be hard. It can be hard. It can be hard to let go. I mean, I had.
But remember,
when I had to let go, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, man, what I do? But then now,
vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
Exactly. You know, and now, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, I'm happy. I'm like, shit, I'm glad I let that go.
Man, listen.
Let that be somebody else's problem.
I let my ex go, man, and realized that she made the worst damn decision of her goddamn life. I didn't know I was allowing her to mistreat me until I let her go.
Right. You didn't realize, you didn't see it.
I didn't realize that I was allowing myself to
because you didn't know your worth.
I didn't know my worth.
You didn't know your worth at the time. You know what I'm saying? You know what they told you, you know what they, came to or brought to you or whatever, but you didn't know your worth. You know what I'm saying? But then once you learn that or whatever, and unfortunately you had to get away from that person to do it or whatever, or to understand it and learn it or whatever. And that's what some people stay in a relationship too long or whatever, because like you said, they don't know their worth, you know. Nick said, I don't think you ever know. Once you get to a point feeling wise, it would tell you. No. Feeling wise, it would tell you, no, I'm going to have to disagree with you. Because you know.
Oh, yeah, you got an idea for damn sure.
You know, especially for a woman. A woman's intuition is always on point. I don't care what nobody says.
I got man intuition.
You know what I'm saying?
My shit's so cold.
But a woman's intuition is always on point. You know, but you ignoring it. You're not hearing it. You don't care to hear it right now until you're fed up. And people wait until they're fed up and let it ball all in before they let it go. you know, and it hurts even worse. You know what I mean? And then because then sometimes when you let it ball up to that much, that's when you start feeling like I ain't worth it. I didn't, I couldn't hold on to it because I just didn't do this or whatever. And then what did he see? He didn't see, why he couldn't get this from me. That type of shit. You got all that shit coming or whatever when your intuition already told you this ain't really good.
This ain't it. Yeah.
For
sure.
And then sometimes I say intuition, you know what I'm saying? It's the man above. Letting you know.
It's always the man above.
He's giving you signals. He's giving you, I've done it. I've basically been given, time after time, like, even if I didn't catch somebody doing something, it was still in my conscience to know that person is not right. That person is doing something or whatever, but I ignored it because I didn't have to see it, because I didn't see it with my eyes. You know what I mean?
My
some
ex
people
told
even
me,
see it.
She told me, she said, I don't care what nobody say. Boy, you better listen to your intuition.
Yep.
Because every time you thought or said that I was doing some wild shit, that's exactly what I was doing. It may have not been at that time you said it, but it definitely was happening when you said something. Yeah. And I say that to say, always follow your intuition in your first mind, especially my men, because they, it's this thing, women intuition. But men, we have a gut feeling as well because our mama gave that to us that was just a gene they gave us. So we have that same intuition that was given through us through the umbilical cord, through our moms, I think. Yeah. And so we have that same feeling, especially when you know your woman and you know your mate. Yeah. You know when they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Let me make this point too, though. Yeah, we do. We have an intuition. But the thing about the difference between the guys and the women is that when we have that intuition, we're trying to get something else. Or it's something that they're giving us to the point where we're not going to play off of that intuition. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because we're getting the loving, the fucking, the drinking, the food, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of ignore it because I'm still getting that.
Yeah.
But with a women intuition, it's more feeling.
Yeah.
It's more emotional. You know what I'm saying? It's more shit that they got to talk to with their friends or their girlfriends or you know what I'm saying? That type of thing or whatever, And when you talk to those people and then people say, well, why don't you just leave? And we know it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if your gut has been telling you something and you constantly going through something or whatever, you're going to have to get to a point to listen.
Yeah.
And let it fucking go.
Let it go.
You can still be cool who you with. Because if they really there as a friend, because one thing you should have been in a relationship is, first of all, be friends. And if they're real friends or whatever, I don't get it, man. If I call you my friend, you're always my friend. You can always call me or talk to me or whatever the case may be, regardless. My exes, any ex that I have can call me. They know they can and have about certain things about other people.
That's the next topic.
You see what I'm saying?
Can you communicate with your ex?
I can communicate, but I can't bond with them. I can't go out with them. I'm not gonna be hanging out and that's my ex, whatever. It's cool. I'm gonna hang out with her, or whatever. No, you setting yourself up for some bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
You setting yourself up for it. You know what I mean?
I know.
So and if somebody's with you or whatever, they should not be allowing that.
Yeah, I know.
You see what I'm saying? But my whole thing is like I said, it's kind of like if you don't listen or whatever, then understand the storm is coming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's all you have to understand. There's much more to say to that. It's the storm is coming. Who else we got? What you say, Nick? When a person is fed up, you will then know it's time to go.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. Some of us think we can fix it.
Yo, I think a lot of us.
That's most of us.
Yeah, that is a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? We thinking because we're this good person that they can be fixed as well and be as good as you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're showing them the goodness of your heart. What I like to tell people. But you can't. It's not that way.
Because you have a problem with how they're behaving.
Yeah.
They don't. You can't fix something that the person you're trying to fix it for does not think it needs to be fixed. Mm-hmm. Because they're going by the saying, if it's broke, don't. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. but for you it's broke and you're trying to fix it, but for them it ain't broke.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Exactly. And so that's another thing. When you think that you can change someone, you think you can fix it, you really can't, because the issue is not with them. The issue is with you.
Yes.
Because the issue is with you that you have with them.
That's a good point, because that's the understanding the mindset of others that you're with. Is not thinking the same way that you're thinking.
Not on the same page.
And not to say that they are a bad person, but
just
they're
not on the same page.
Different page than you are. You know, they don't feel anything,
and that's okay.
Wrong. You know, they feel like if they're doing something, they're okay. You know, if you're getting something from them just as much as they're getting from you, everything's okay.
And that's not the case.
Okay.
No, it ain't.
Right? Gus is in a house. We appreciate you, Gus. R. Kelly said it best. When a woman's fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
She'll get little on your ass.
That's a true fact.
Yeah, she'll get gone.
But the thing is, too, though, is how much do you got to take to be fed up?
That's a good question.
How much does it take before you actually fed up?
It took for me. You know? It took for me to have a nigga pop up at the house at 4:30.
And how long have you been talking to that person?
10 years.
Y'all been together for 10 years.
I was talking to her 9 years.
9 years, like off and on though, or was it because y'all was having situations in between all of that?
Oh hell yeah!
See, so yeah. So it
but
took a while before you got fed up.
That was it. That was the final straw.
Yeah.
But that was once I realized the final straw started to come in that last few years, because I started to realize my worth and I deserved better.
That part.
And then the last time was like, I definitely deserve better than this shit.
Yeah.
And then it was like, at what point are you gonna stand up for yourself? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's when that's actually when you start schooling and stuff. Too,
yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then understanding that I'm wasting my time.
I wasted my time with the bullshit.
With the BS. You know what I'm saying? So and it can't take that long. You know what I mean? I hate that.
Please don't let it take that long for y'all.
Yeah. Don't let it take that long.
Get rid of that.
Or understand that, you know, if it ain't working in the way that you thinking this one's gonna work, whatever, you trying to fix that person, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Let's see. Oh, we got come on, fat boy.
Choir about to sing. Y'all
right? Not everybody has your heart. That's the hard part. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Who's this? Lisa. Hey,
Lisa.
Always trust your feelings.
I agree.
Exactly. That's exactly. Go off there. That's most intuition.
Yeah, most
important.
What I mean? It's that time, huh?
Man,
it's my favorite part of the show.
All right. Yeah, let me turn you over.
It's my favorite part of the show, man. Y'all already know what type of time it is. Send a small mini clip to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com entitled "Dear Brother, Dear Sister." Like I say, a short 1-minute clip to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com.
You always got what time.
I already know it. And title with "Dear Brother, Dear Sister." Man, we need more. We ain't been getting none from y'all. We're gonna have to come get y'all. Right. We got some. We're gonna go to the streets and get some, but we need some from y'all. So go ahead, tap in. Y'all ready?
We got one, you guys, that and actually, because we took it to the streets or whatever. So we got another one that is kind of pertaining into the question that we have for today. You know what I'm saying? So here we go.
Dear sisters, just wondering, when you got a good man at home that takes care of you, what makes you want to go out on that man?
One more time, because I need to know too.
Dear sisters, just wondering, when you got a good man at home that takes care of you, what makes you want to go out on that man?
Y'all hear that? You got
That's a great question.
It takes
care of you. What makes you want to go out on that man?
But then that could be done as vice versa too.
Easy way, every way. He's asking for women. He's for women. I got an answer for your question. One, she wasn't for you. Two, I think with the addition of social media and the advancement of technology, the world has become a lot small. And I think that it's very easier for men or women to go out and cheat, right? Because the world is so small. So the video vixen you like in Chicago, you can get her and fly her out now, right? The handsome guy you like who lives in Montana or Atlanta, you can get a hold to him faster. And I think that it takes a certain level of discipline while in a relationship to not do that because it's so easy now. And I think that women, like we said a few shows ago, they lose interest so easy. And I always said that we have to watch wanting to be this protector and this provider. We have to offer more, gentlemen, right? We have to give more, because if all we're good for, all we can do is protect and provide, she's going to go out and find more. Because I know they haven't told us this, but the protect and the provide shit is our major role, but it's the least of what it's a big part of what we do, but there's other things that we have to do to maintain our relationship. And I think a lot of times we think that we can just protect and provide and that she's not going to run off. Yeah. And I think that you have to be available for her emotionally. Yeah. You have to be available for her mentally, spiritually. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or she just on some hoe shit and she want to run out on you. Well, but for the most part, I think that it's more than just protection and providing. Yeah. And I think that a lot of men, because that's this narrative that we have to live up to, we get it confused that that's all we have to provide. But a lot of times, even though we provide, we'll lose our woman to a dude that don't provide because he offers everything else.
Okay, well, let's hear from you ladies. I don't see no comments yet. Let's hear from y'all. What do y'all think? Why do you think, like, a man that's offering you everything, that they still step out on you? You know, a female would still step out on you. You know,
hello, ladies.
Because the only thing I would guess is for one, she's not really satisfied, but she was not telling she's not satisfied.
Mm-hmm. That's
you know what I mean? She's not being honest. She's not being open with you. She hadn't been open with you or whatever, to the point where if she's stepping out or whatever, you know, she didn't, you know, you probably thinking, like you said, you probably thinking just being that provider is going to keep her there. Being her, you know what I'm saying, is going to, you know, but she can provide, she can find for one, women can provide for themselves. Mm-hmm. Two, they can find someone.
They can find a provider faster,
yeah, as well. That's probably getting something else, because if you're providing is the fact that you're working, you know, 16 hours a day or whatever, and you coming home and all you need to do is get a meal and eat, go home, you know, maybe fuck or whatever. But then she probably ain't feel like fucking because she's been home by herself or whatever, and you come home all smelly and dirty, and she ain't trying to fuck with you. You know, like or something like that, or the whole the fact that what you're, you know, doing and making it a how can you put it? If you're making yourself being the provider the core issue of what your relationship is, you know what I mean? In other words, it's kind of like anything else is good because I provide.
I provide it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No.
That's the quickest way to lose your woman.
That's the quickest way. Exactly. So tell us, ladies, what y'all think?
Yeah, we got some stuff. And I was gonna say that, like Nip said, women and children spell love time, and that's time. And I think that we get so caught up in providing. I'm one of them as well, and I have to be bring down to earth. We get so caught up in the money that we forget about the time. Mm-hmm. And if she's idle, then it's gonna be easier for you to lose her. Mm-hmm. So let's go and jump in there.
Go ahead.
Nick says some women think the grass is green on the other side. Some women are using you. Some are immature, and some are just ain't shit. Absolutely. All of those, Nick. All of those. Definitely just ain't shit. Definitely just ain't shit. I ran across a few of them.
Right. Dear brothers, why do men label themselves as alpha or beta? That's another topic right
That's
there.
Next week.
Your action stays. That is another topic. Do you have to say it? Yeah.
I really want to tap on to that next week.
Yeah. We're taking that because we did talk about
because this alpha shit starting to make me mad too.
Yeah.
This alpha shit, because a lot of them dudes get a little damn money and now he an alpha male. Yeah. Because he got a little change and you pussy still. Right. But we ain't gonna get in there. Okay.
Emotional, unavailable. Yes.
Sex trash.
Latrice, where you been, girl? Sex trash. Not being secure in one. The camera's on you. I guess I should.
Oh yeah.
Not being secure in one of the main areas. Exactly.
For sure.
She said sex trash. Okay, Latrice, get down to it. The sex is trash. That is true though. That could be the problem.
Carolyn says, if a woman is stepping out on a man that is doing his very best and she wasn't yoked to him from the get-go. I agree.
Yes. Exactly.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. I think that if you step out on a man who is protecting and providing and doing what he's supposed to do, you are lame. But I also think that the man is lame that if all he does is protect and provide and he's not mentally feeding her spiritually and emotionally.
You want to read this one?
I got you. I haven't had a good man, but the jackass I had made me feel like I couldn't ever be loved. So when a good man come, I'll let you know. Come on, Gussie Gus. You done ran into a good man somewhere.
You was give a good man for a long time, wasn't you? I mean, I don't know.
She called him a jackass.
I know she said jackass. Your relationship is people get it twisted. They get lost in financial growth and other things in place of actually really being in love with a person. So with that being said, it's easy to step out. Ooh, drop them gems there, girl. Drop them gems. A relationship is people getting twisted. Yeah, that is true. That is so true.
They get lost. I think that, and I think we get caught up, especially I think the independent woman.
You about to start something.
Oh no, for sure.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is because she gets so caught up in, she's so goal oriented. She's so financial. It's a financial growth that if you're not on her page and she runs across a man that's on her page,
say page or level,
page, or on her, when you're not on her level,
there's a difference, yeah.
Because I say page because I cannot necessarily be on your level financially, but we on the same page.
Goal oriented.
We goal oriented, so we got the same thing. I'm still right, but I'm not financially on your level. But mentally I am. We on the same, we thinking the same, we talking the same. I think that when a woman meets a man that is not on her page mentally, he doesn't necessarily have to be on her level. Because like I say with my woman, I'm not necessarily on her level financially right now. But because of the man that I am.
No. But y'all on the same level.
Mentally. Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? And there is a difference.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're mentally on the same level and y'all know what y'all growth are, you know what I'm saying? Not only like sometimes knowing, when we say knowing our growth or whatever, or knowing our worth or whatever, sometimes it takes that woman to also know your worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or that man to know your worth.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? So when you both understand that and understand that worthiness can grow, then that's when, everything blossom into a great relationship. You know what I mean? But if like you said though, if they're not on that same level.
Not on the same level, I think that it's easy. It's so easy for you because men, we're not going after goals, we're going after sex. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said women. So I'm not picking on you women. You get what I'm saying? I really said that because you guys, y'all goal oriented. Men are not leaving women because she got a new house.
Right.
Women are not. Women are not. Like that, women are not. I mean, men are not leaving women because she just got a job as a lawyer. Yeah. He leaving his wife because the girl he got a fatter ass or bigger breasts or give head.
I had.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably about like 4 or 5 years ago. It's like when I had my first breakup from here in California, and I met this young lady that had a beautiful house, nice car, she had kids, it was nice, pool in the back and everything. It was all cool. But I have that. I've seen that before. I've been with people with that before. It didn't excite me.
It doesn't excite me.
So we got to a point where that's what she said. Oh, you just with me because you just see this nice house and you see that you just think I'm like, where is that coming from? Because I know people that has a lot more than you that I could probably be with if I wanted to be with them at that time. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the case because that's not what I look at. You know what I'm saying? And little like you said that most women would know at the time, I was about the pussy. I didn't care what we could have fucked in a car. I don't care. You know what I mean? To the point where that's not the guy's mindset. You do have people out there that are scandalous. manipulative and all that type of stuff and trying to get stuff from you, whatever. But, I never asked for anything. I just basically, came over, and seen that it was nice, okay, or whatever. But I wasn't like on.
It don't excite me.
Yeah, it wasn't exciting. It was like, oh man, your shit is dope. Oh man,
that's funny.
I don't do that shit.
I told my girl that like not that it don't excite me, just that that's not why I'm here. I'm gonna be okay. I'm here because I want you, not because I need you to become a better man, not because I need you to lift me out of my financial situation. None of that, because as the man that I am, I'm going to get myself in a position I'm supposed to be, because that's the kind of man that I am.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that when you stress that, especially to a woman, she's able to see you, because there's a lot of clowns out here that do just deal with women because she has something and because he want to get some ass.
That's what Nick said. Most men don't care about the money if he is a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey,
we got to wrap it up, man. It's been like 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. We appreciate you guys that's tapping in. Continue to share this, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, even after y'all get off, when this goes off, whatever, share it. Just share it on your page. You know what I mean? Because sharing is caring. You know what I'm saying? If y'all care about us, y'all better share.
Make sure you share.
I had the camera on you while I'm talking all this shit. But yeah, most definitely share it, guys. And remember, you ready, man?
Yeah, okay, go ahead. All right.
And remember, if they talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason.
Hey. I love y'all.
You guys. See y'all next week. And don't forget to hit us up if you guys got a topic y'all want us to talk about. Hit us up at the Gmail, broadcasting@gmail.com. All right.
Send my dear brother, dear sisters. I'm
and dear brother, dear sisters. That's right. That's what's up. See y'all later.
Peace.
All our illusions were just a parade, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear Brotha, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Hey.